Slambolt Scrappers is a brand new puzzle brawler from developer Firehose Games, an indie development studio that previously worked on the downloadable hit Rock Band Blitz alongside publisher Harmonix. Serving as the studio's very first original IP, Slambolt Scrappers is all about head-to-head combat. Using one of the several characters available, you'll fight monsters to gain Tetris-inspired blocks, which are then used to construct a tower full of weapons. Through a variety of unique weapons and power-ups, you'll fight to bring down your opponent's tower and defend your own. While the game was previously available as an indie title on PSN, Slambolt Scrappers is now available on Steam for $9.99. But is this unique blend of gameplay styles worth your time? Let's take a look. Slambolt Scrappers is actually a pretty unique take on the whole puzzle battle genre. It's very similar to Tetris in the way that you drop blocks, but you're not actually trying to clear lines in order to do damage to your opponent's tower. Instead, you're actually using them to create these square formations that form weapons that then do damage to your opponent's structure. While at the same time, your opponent is also trying to collect his own blocks, build his own weapons, and take down your tower. Now, the way that you actually get these blocks is with all these little creatures that come flying into the screen right here. Throughout the game, there's a large variety of these different monsters, and each one has their own attacks that can also do damage to your tower if you're not careful. So the combat can get pretty chaotic at times, but it's actually a lot of fun. Unfortunately, the game does have a few shortcomings that are really hard to overlook, and one of the major ones is the character selection. Now you can see that I'm using sort of a construction worker style of character, and he's only one of the 4 characters available at the beginning of the game. But their differences are really only cosmetic, and none of them have any special abilities, which is a bit strange considering the game is built around strategy and head-to-head combat. They don't have any personalities, they never speak during the battle, and it's kind of a shame because the character design is actually pretty well done between the 4 characters. Now, the level that we're playing right now is actually one of the levels from the single-player campaign. All the levels have a sort of theme to them, ranging from islands to volcanoes to mountaintops to the city, and so on and so forth. But while there's a lot of variety in the actual levels that you'll play through, the campaign itself is actually really easy and really short. It'll probably only take you about an hour to an hour and a half to complete it, and I never lost a single battle during that time, even playing on some of the harder difficulty settings. There are some really cool boss battles scattered throughout the campaign though, and each one will really test your puzzle solving abilities in order to take them down. They're easily the highlight of the experience, but since the campaign is so short, there's only about 3 or 4 of them in there. Now, once you're finished with a campaign, there's not a whole lot to do besides the battle mode. Now, the battle mode allows you to compete against your friends or against bots in some really cool battle types using a variety of different weapons and maps that are unlocked in the single-player campaign. The biggest problem is that the multiplayer is so much fun to play, but there is no online multiplayer to speak of. Now, the game did used to be on PSN, and I could understand how the local multiplayer would work in that sort of situation, because everyone would have a controller and they would be sitting back on a couch, but it's too hard to do when everyone needs their own gamepad or a section of the keyboard in order to control their characters. Now, the developers did add in some PC exclusive stuff, like some new battle maps and 2 new unlockable characters, one of which is Steve from Minecraft. It's a pretty cool addition because it's nice to see a well-known indie game character in another indie game. It's hard to deny that Slambolt Scrappers is a very fun and unique game, and it certainly delivers some interesting concepts in terms of gameplay. Unfortunately, there are far too many problems that are hard to overlook. The campaign is far too short, and while there are a few unlockable cosmetic items for the various characters, there is no reason to ever go back to the single-player mode once you've unlocked all of the battle mode content. It's clear that the developers were focusing more on multiplayer than anything else, and though the battle mode can be amazing fun when played with friends, the lack of online multiplayer significantly hinders that experience, especially if you don't happen to have 3 other friends to huddle around your computer. If the game was cheaper, I might be able to recommend it, but there are plenty of better games to spend your $10 on. For more indie game news and reviews, check out our channel at Pixabyte.tv. See you guys next time.